Hey, Jazz fans, welcome to another 5-minute fight against racism. Let's check out Donovan Mitchell's Juneteenth Instagram post. Free-ish since 1865. And speaking of ish, some Jazz fans brought a little bit of ish in their responses to this. Your job is sports. Leave politics out of it. I come to you to escape that, and now it's all you want to talk about. This is widely recognized as the shut up and dribble response. Run the tape.
Oh, and LeBron and Kevin, you're great players, but no one voted for you. So keep the political commentary to yourself, or as someone once said, shut up and dribble.
So when Donovan Mitchell saw these shut up and dribble responses, he tweeted out, "Can't see how y'all can openly cheer for us, then when it comes to this, be against us so openly." Jazz fans, this isn't the first time, and it won't be the last time that a Jazz player will speak out about issues that hit close to home for them. Oftentimes, Jazz fans have enthusiastically embraced player activism. Notice the reaction depends on the issue, though. Like when Joe Ingles began raising awareness for autism, nobody told him to shut up and dribble. And when Rudy Gobert's foundation donates thousands of dollars each game to local organizations improving the health and education and recreation of children around the country, nobody tells him to stick to sports either. And when Qualtrics announced that they were buying Utah's sponsorship patch and doing a campaign to raise money to fight cancer, Jazz fans were rightfully proud of that. Every Utah Jazz game begins with a salute to the flag and a national anthem, and it often features a veteran of the game. A military person is there, honored for their service. Jazz fans usually give a standing ovation for these displays. So it's pretty clear that the issue isn't that Jazz fans want athletes or the NBA to be less political in general. The issue is that in this particular cause, racial injustice, some Jazz fans really start to feel uncomfortable. Some even feel angry about it. I think everybody can agree that players have the legal right to speak out about issues that matter to them, right? I mean, they live and pay taxes in this country. They're entitled to express their views and use their voices. They don't need to wait until they're off the clock to talk. And many athletes never waited at all. In fact, sports in America has never been without politics. There's a long tradition of black athletes using their platforms to push for social change, speaking out about issues that are important to them and to the black community. From Muhammad Ali, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Jim Brown, Bill Russell, Arthur Ashe, and contemporary athletes like LeBron James, Maya Moore, Serena Williams, Allison Felix, Malcolm Jenkins, and of course, our very own Donovan Mitchell. Here's a great example from a lesser-known athlete you might remember. I remember him from when I was a kid, Craig Hodges. On a trip to the White House after winning a championship with the Chicago Bulls in 1991, before the Bulls played the Jazz in the finals, obviously, Craig Hodges gave President Bush a letter that urged the president to address economic issues that were caused by racial inequality. He said, 300 years of free labor has left the African American community destroyed. It's time for a comprehensive plan for change. Hopefully, this letter will help become a boost in the unification of inner-city youth, and these issues will be brought to the forefront of the domestic agenda. His letter didn't bring it to the forefront, and we'll talk about that in another 5-minute fight. When we read posts like Donovan's about Juneteenth, Jazz fans can view it as an invitation to learn more about black history and the perspective that he's speaking from, rather than getting defensive. In 1865, the 13th Amendment was ratified, officially abolishing slavery in the United States. But black people still weren't afforded all the rights of American citizenship, including voting. And they still faced an incredible amount of racism and discrimination, even from people who helped to fight abolish slavery. So free-ish. And that ish has continued down through the years. Jackie Robinson said as much in his 1972 autobiography. Robinson's known as the first black baseball player to integrate Major League Baseball. But a lot of people forget that Jackie Robinson was also an extremely vocal activist who helped organize the Youth March for Integration in 1958. And he also served on the board of the NAACP. On hearing the national anthem play before the World Series in 1952, he wrote, "There I was, the black grandson of a slave, the son of a black sharecropper, part of a historic occasion, a symbolic hero to my people. It should have been a glorious moment for me as the stirring words of the national anthem poured into the stands. As I write this 20 years later, I cannot stand and sing the anthem. I cannot salute the flag. I know that I'm a black man in a white world. In 1972, in 1947, at my birth in 1919, I know that I never had it made." Jackie Robinson knew that he hadn't had it made, not because he doesn't believe in what America stands for, but because America's greatest promises were still not available to so many Americans. And it's the same way today. Sports can be a great unifier, a favorite pastime, an escape, a place to experience high emotions at relatively little cost. Look, I love being able to sit down and get absorbed in a great game. But the players on the floor, they're still real people with real lives, real fears and real hopes. So let's recap. First, when NBA players say Black Lives Matter, they're simply exercising their freedom of speech. I don't think anybody has a problem with that. But second, NBA basketball has embraced all sorts of different causes, and that's a good thing. We can use this as an opportunity to take an honest look at why black players and many other allies are speaking out right now about racial injustice in America. And finally, sports has never been without politics. There's a long and really inspiring history of athletes who use their platforms to call for change. If you still wish players would shut up and dribble, Jordan Clarkson has a little piece of advice. Everybody that's saying shut up and dribble, maybe they should shut up and go look at themselves in the mirror. If you want players to shut up, then perhaps you can lead by example. Or take a time out and consider the possibility that you have some things to learn. Your assignment today? Go check out Jackie Robinson's 1964 civil rights speech. I'm going to put a link down in the description of the video. Thanks for watching.